Hi guys, so we've had a few requests to go through a few foam roller exercises to help with those tight muscles and tight fascial tissue. I'm going to go through the sort of main ones that we would tend to see, but if there's any that you want me to go through additional to this, then just comment and we can work away. So first of all, I'm going to go through the calves and the hamstrings. Quite a common area for runners to be picking up a bit of tightness. And there's different ways that we can hit different parts of these muscles. So if we're going to work on the right leg, we're just going to get into this position here with our foam roller. And we can work from just above the Achilles, put the pressure on as we come up towards the back of the knee, and then take the pressure off. So we're just going to lengthen through the tissue. What we tend to do, if we want to increase that pressure, we just put the opposite leg on top. Again, same thing, and this time we're putting extra body weight through that area. Not the nicest, but it does the trick. Okay, next we're going to work into the hamstring. And the same concept applies. We're going to put the pressure behind the knee. We don't want to be going over any bony tissue here. So we're just going to start from behind the knee, keeping the leg nice and straight, and work up towards that hip bone, the back of the pelvis. Just working in this area. Again, if you'd like to hit different parts of the muscle, turn your leg into different positions. A thing that we tend to see here in runners is what we call the posterior adductors. So it's this sort of back and inside of your upper thigh. We can then hit that area. So we're going to hit those muscles that get a little bit tight, that can cause some issues around the inside of the knee. Another area that we might want to hit if you're running is the hip flexors. We often see quite a lot of tightness in the upper part of the thigh into the hip flexors. So if I show you a quick demonstration of how we do that, what we're going to do is the top part of our hip here, and then we're just going to roll through right up to that bony point at the front of the pelvis, and spend a little bit of time moving around, hitting different parts of that hip, really trying to get some of that tension out. Again, we can put the other leg on top just to add a bit of extra weight and extra pressure into the area. We can also work into the full quadricep here. So we would just start that further down on top of the knee, so above the kneecap. We don't want to be going over the kneecap, and we're going to roll up the full length of that quad. Now most runners again are going to get quite on the outside of that quad, so you want to roll that leg, turn your toes inwards to hit that different part of the quad. And mine's pretty tight there, so that's a little bit tender. One of the main areas we want to hit with the foam roller in runners is the outside of the hip into the piriformis and into some of the glute tissue that can become overactive. So with this particular exercise, we want to see if we can sit onto the roller. The muscle tissue that we're talking about here, we want to hit in a transverse plane, so we have to have the roller on a slight angle. I'm going to put some weight through the upper body, and I'm going to be working on the right hip, so the right ankle comes over on top of the left knee. We're going to position the roller and we're going to work into that muscle tissue, just rolling through, applying as much pressure as you can tolerate. So you use the left leg, you use the right arm to take some of that load away, to really target the area of tightness. And we're just working into that muscle tissue. We can even find a spot and just give it a bit of a trigger point if you like. This will send referred symptoms down the side of the leg, so we can see how this muscle can impact on the knee. Okay, next, so we're going to look at the IT band, or the iliotibial band at the side of your leg. So what we do here is we're going to go side on. We're going to start that roller here just above the knee again, avoiding that bony tissue, and then just working through that range. So what I'm doing here, just to take a bit of strain off the area, is using my opposite leg to take a bit of weight and the right arm. A little bit tight on tender for me there, so I'll just sort of work through different parts, and then I might just bring that roller up a bit higher just to hit that outside edge of the upper hip. And if I feel confident, I can try to do this with both legs on top. Not the nicest feeling in the world, but it does the job. With your foam roller drills, we're aiming for around about 30 to 60 seconds on each area if you can tolerate, but bear in mind this can be quite sensitive, especially when you've just been out for a run. So build up, 20 seconds and do 3 or 4 sets until you start to feel a bit more comfortable with it. It's all about what you can tolerate. Give it a go.